Hello and welcome to Viewer Point of View. I'm LR Reactor, and this week we got a couple of emails that we're going to go over that was sent in by you, the viewers. Thank you so much for all of you guys who sent in your questions for me to talk about on this segment. I really picked out about 4 good ones here that we're going to talk about. Now, excuse me, I'm on my way to the gym right after this because I want to get my arms as big as Thor's. So I'm getting ready to go to the gym in a little bit, but I wanted to shoot this video so I can get these questions out and be able to get this video launched on YouTube. Viewers' point of view, we're going to be discussing a couple of 4 good emails that I printed out that I thought were worthy to talk about. And again, you can comment on the comment section below. You can email me at readytoreactnow@gmail.com. Hit me up on Twitter or Facebook, either one. So let's go over a couple of questions and get your reactions, some really good ones here. Okay, so first one is from Steve. Steve is from, let's see, doesn't say where he's from. Okay. Anyway, Steve, thank you for sending in the question. Let's go over the question. Does the new DC slate introduced at San Diego Comic-Con make any sense to you? You know, I've always railed against DC of how they put the movies out. Now, Marvel has set a template of how to set up movies if you're going to do a combined heroes team up. Okay, you introduce the characters first, or you show a cameo of them in another movie, then introduce them, and then you bring their own movie out and you get them set up and you interweave with each other for the big clash like Marvel's did. Now, just DC and Warner Brothers, I understand they want to be different, but sometimes following a model doesn't hurt you. You have different characters, and to me, a lot better characters in many ways, but they try to do it separately. They said, oh, we're going to do our team up first, introduce 2 characters doing our team up, and then we'll do the individual movies. It could work, but I just always thought that was a flawed plan and it was confusing. And look at this new slate coming out, which I'll read in case you weren't aware of the new slate coming out in Comic-Con. You can see some of that. So obviously the next movie is Justice League. Okay, and then we're going to have an Aquaman standalone movie. Now, obviously in Justice League, Aquaman is not King of Atlantis yet. He's Aquaman, which I guess that works out okay. Some kind of protector, because obviously he has the armor and the trident. Somebody gave that to him. Or he stole it. Who knows? And then we have Shazam. Now, Shazam is very interesting in the fact that why are they in a Shazam movie now? We haven't even had a Man of Steel 2 movie yet, but we're doing Shazam. We haven't had a Batman movie yet, but we're doing Shazam. That tells me that if they're doing Shazam, maybe he's going to have a cameo in the Justice League movie. Maybe he'll appear in that movie somehow, some way, either as Billy Baxter or as Shazam at the end, helping them fight, much like the DC Warner Brothers animated movie called Justice League War. He appeared at the end, jumped in and helped the team. So maybe that's what they're doing. So Shazam may make sense at that point. Then we go into Suicide Squad 2. That one seems like a misplaced to me. I think you should push that out a little bit further. Then, if I'm reading the slate correctly, what I went online is I saw the Batman, which the Batman I think should have been the next movie after Aquaman personally. But they're doing the Batman. Justice League Dark, which I don't have a problem with. I think that's fine. You want to do Justice League Dark, another set of Justice League, and have those characters in there. And then Batgirl. Now, Batgirl, I'm fine with Batgirl wherever they want to put it. Just do not put a Batgirl, Nightwing, or Gotham Siren movie before you do the Batman movie. You can't have these other characters of Gotham having their own movie before you do a Batman movie. I always thought that was so stupid and asinine to do that. Have Batman first, then you can do movies about all the characters that came from the Gotham Batman lineage and do it after that. So if this reads correctly, I'm okay with Batgirl is in the series. Because there's 10 movies altogether between now and 2020 or 2019, I believe. Next one is the Green Lantern Corps. Again, I'm okay with that, I guess, because if you watch the Justice League trailer, obviously with you know, if you saw the trailer, you haven't go watch the trailer, it's fantastic. But Steppenwolf said in one of his dialogues, no lanterns. So that tells me Hal Jordan is not a Green Lantern yet. The Green Lanterns exist. You know, probably Abin Sur is this protector of Space Sector 2184, I believe it is, or something like that, 2814. but Hal Jordan doesn't. Otherwise, he would be one of the protectors. So Hal Jordan's not there yet. So if they want to put the Green Lantern movie after that, that's fine. I think they should move that up too. I think that should be before Batgirl. Then we have Flashpoint. And Flashpoint, I think I wanted a Flash movie before then, but I see why they threw it back. Flashpoint is their default. It's their X-Men of Days of Future Past. It's their time gem, so to speak, time Infinity Stone. It allows them to correct anything that they didn't like or was not well reviewed or the actor did not pull it off or the storyline didn't pull off of any of the DC movies. So it allows them to do Flashpoint, reset it all after Flashpoint. Here's our new actor for this character, or here's the new storyline, or actually this never really happened. Doomsday didn't come, that Doomsday thing didn't happen. Batman and Superman never fought each other. Who knows? It allows them to do all of that and recorrect it all. Judging, they can look at these 8 movies, 10 movies, and say, okay, this one went good, this one went bad. Let's do Flashpoint and say this never happened or this happened to this extent and fix it. And then we round it off with Wonder Woman 2, which I think is fine. I think they want to fast track Wonder Woman 2 because of success, but I think they need to, put it back a little bit as they need to announce these other characters. Now, another thing DC needs to do is they need to have 3 movies a year. I'm not sure if that's their plan, but they need to have 3 movies a year to catch up a little bit so we can get to Wonder Woman 2 much faster, get to Justice League 2, and things of that nature. So I think that is the plan, and their slate of movies I'm okay with. No Black Adam movie you see there, no Green Arrow movie, not that anybody's calling for that. Justice League 2 I think should be in there somewhere. But like I said, if they're doing 3, 3, and 3, so 3 and 18, 3 and 19, and then 2020 they launch a second Justice League movie, that's fine. But it'll be interesting. I don't see anybody. I don't see a Nightwing movie announced in here at all. And I don't see Gotham City Sirens. So maybe those all pushed back, or maybe there's, you never know with DC. They'll just throw stuff out there, or we're doing this and that, and no rhyme, no reason. I think that's hurt them. But hopefully, look at the trailer, and hopefully they got their stuff together, and they have a actual plan of what they're doing. So I have hope for DC as far as their movie slate and what's going on, and I'm really excited to see Justice League. So thank you. The long answer, Steve. Thank you so much for your email. Let's move along. This one is from Sarah in California. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for watching the channel. I appreciate it. We watching the bootleg Infinity War. In case you didn't know this, Infinity War was released on the internet. I don't know how long it's going to be there. Somebody had snuck a camera in. You got a picture of an idea of the movie, not a clear picture, but you did able to see it, and it was really cool. But her question is, there's no Fantastic Four in Infinity War. Do you think they're going to be in the movie at all? I still do. I still think we're going to get a cameo or a small scene with Fantastic Four. I think Marvel's holding close to the vest. I think they made a deal with Fox to introduce the Fantastic Four and have Galactus in here and everything else down the road. So I still hold hope that I think the Fantastic Four is just going to appear in this. I think they made a deal because, again, the Fox has a TV show called The Gifted coming out. They did Legion. They never were allowed to do TV shows with X-Men characters per their agreement with Marvel. So somebody gave them the approval to do it. For what? What did they give Marvel in return? I don't know. I think we're going to see that, and Marvel said, "Hey, we'll help you launch the new Fantastic Four. We'll put them in this movie, and then you can take these characters that we introduced and make your own movie." So I think that's still going to happen. So thank you for the question. All right. Next one is from Joey. Joey from Michigan. Thank you, Joey. Why is the Captain Marvel movie set in the 90s, as they mentioned in San Diego Comic-Con, and how did they get the rights to the Skrulls? I don't know why they set it in the 90s. I mean, I guess they want, Nick Fury's going to be in it. He's got 2 eyes, so they set it in the 90s. I'm fine with that. I guess Marvel does a good job explaining everything, so I have no loss of faith of how they're going to pull it off. But it does leave the question. Okay, so this was set in the 90s. That's right where Iron Man 1 was, I believe. So the question is, where has she been through the Avengers, the Chitauri invasion? Where was she during Age of Ultron? Where was she during Civil War? All these things. Where was she? So they're going to have to explain, where was she? Was she off the planet? Possibly. She was on the planet fighting somebody or whatever, but they do need to explain that in detail. And setting in the 90s, I mean, they got a reason for doing it, but she better show up. I mean, she's definitely going to be in Infinity War. She has to be. If she's set in the 90s and has been around this time and this galactic event is taking place, she's going to be in Infinity War. Mark my words on. She's going to have to show up at the end or something, because they're not going to make sense otherwise. So that's just my opinion on it. Give me your thoughts to that theory. And also, you asked, Joey, how was the Skrulls in there? Well, the Skrulls, not a big deal. And I think that sets up Secret Invasion down the road, which is pretty cool. The Skrulls impersonating everybody, all the members of the Avengers. That's not a problem, because the Skrulls are shared property in both Fox and Marvel. They both have rights to the Skrulls, so they can show Skrulls, specific Skrull, but certain Skrulls cannot be shown. For example, Marvel can never have the Super Skrull in any Marvel movie. That is a Pacific Skrull that was premiered in Fantastic Four. So we have to stay there. And there's some other Skrulls, I think a Scientist Skrull and those Skrull that by name cannot be crossed over. There's even a female Skrull, I forgot her name, that in some of the books I read, that can't be crossed over. So the Skrulls themselves, as mindless aliens, yeah, they can go on both sides, but the certain Pacific Skrulls cannot appear in a Marvel movie whatsoever. So that's how they got away with that. And I think it's a great villain to have, because we have the Kree, and we need to get into this Kree Skrull war, how that works, and and then that sets up an Avenger movie later on down the road, Secret Avengers. Secret Empire, whatever it's called. I can't remember the name. I just said it a minute ago. Which is going to be fantastic when they do that. So, good question. Thank you, Joey. And our last question today, because I got to get to the gym. I'm running short on time. Sorry. I'll get some more questions in next week. We'll do a longer segment, but this is a short segment of 4 questions that I just want to get through. Okay. This one's from Tech Lord. Doesn't have a name. Tech Lord. Thank you for the question, Tech Lord. Why did Fox do a no-show at San Diego Comic-Con? We didn't hear any new mention or video or even concept art of Venom, New Mutants, Dark Phoenix, X-Men, or Deadpool 2. Yeah, I thought Fox really dropped the ball. Now, I understand they're in production, some of these, pre-production, some are in production right now, but they should have sent somebody. Hey, we're going to give them a week off, bring them to Comic-Con. I mean, Jason Momoa flew from Australia to Comic-Con just for this event, and then flying back to finish shooting Aquaman. I mean, you could show, Tom Hardy should have been there, talking about the Venom movie. You should have had the cast of the X-Men there, the cast of the New Mutants there, Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds. I understand they were shooting right now, maybe you couldn't get Ryan Reynolds, but I think you could have had, you had Josh Brolin there. Why not bring Ryan Reynolds in, obviously from Deadpool 2, and have them on a panel? And some Domino, the person playing Domino there, Copycat. They could have done that. And I think Fox really blew an opportunity, because they were the one studio was kind of like, what are they doing? Didn't really do much. Now, Sony didn't either, to be fair. Sony didn't do much, but Sony don't have the property. They have Spider-Man. And Sony, Venom is, you got to be confused here, Tech Lord. Venom is not part of Fox. Venom is part of Sony. So Sony did not show any Venom, did not have Tom Hardy show up at all, so I understand that. They could have, but they just didn't have a big slate to present. But they could have had people talking about concept art of Black Cat and Silver Sable. So I thought they could have done something. But Fox, with Deadpool 2, New Mutants, and Dark Phoenix, you definitely could have done something there and brought a panel to Comic-Con. I think they blew it. So, the big studios, Warner Brothers and Marvel, really showed up and stepped up. Netflix even did a great job bringing their stuff in, and TV, DC, and TV, Marvel also. So I thought Fox and Sony really dropped the ball, did not do a good job, and really lost a lot of publicity and excitement about their movies in their universe that they did not come through on. So, that's a good question, Tech Lord, but I think they did lose, and they get a D from me on both of those, maybe an E even, because nothing come up really. But that's it for this week, viewers' point of view. Send me some more questions. I know you guys have a bunch of questions from last week's San Diego Comic-Con, the Justice League trailer, Thor Ragnarok trailer, Infinity War leak trailer, TV Flash, Arrow, Gifted, Legion, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, all those things. I'll do another segment next week, But it was a fun time this past weekend, San Diego Comic-Con. Watching it, I didn't go, but I saw a lot of video clips, watched the panels online. It was so exciting to see all these trailers and so much exciting news happening. And if you're a comic book fan or a fantasy fan of movies, comics, and things to see these characters come alive, you've got to be excited. Can't wait for winter time when all these movies come. A lot of these movies come out. So thank you again. I'm LR Reactor. I'll see you next time.